focused on your body somewhere, you might notice the feeling of your breath moving in and out of your body. A gentle rise and fall. And each time you feel that falling sensation of your exhale, imagine some part of your body softening just a little bit more. Just adding a little layer to the breathing meditation. We inhale slowly and exhale, soften somewhere new. If there's a particular part of the body that you're wanting to soften or focus on in today's practice, you might just let that softening happen there each time, each exhale. To separate your knees, open your arms out wide into a T. You can flip your palms to face up or down. Sometimes flipping the palms to face down can feel a little more grounding. And just windshield wiper your knees side to side. You can make this really nice and slow here, just feeling that drop down of the knee towards the middle of your mat, and then switching sides. Just do that one more time on each side. A windshield wiper of the knees. And we'll meet back in the middle, just walking the feet in towards the center a little bit, about hip width distance apart. You can hug the right knee in towards your chest and just clasp your hands over your shin. Hug the knee close. Feel free to extend your left leg down towards the bottom of the mat here. If you want that extension through the hip crease. Notice how that changes the low back. If anything happens there that doesn't feel quite right, you can always just bend your left knee again, bring the foot back down. Just feel free to circle your ankle here. The right ankle rolls in one direction, and then the other, just moving the joints in the ankle. Bring the right knee a little bit wider towards the edge of your mat, kind of opening the hip out. And then grab onto the back of the leg or the edge of your foot with your right hand. Just dropping into the hip a little deeper. Gently encourage the right knee out towards the edge of your mat or away from your body to open the hip a bit more. A slow, steady breath. It might not be as long as you originally started with when we were counting the breath. Just letting yourself soften into a steady rhythm of a long inhale, a complete exhale. Gently release the leg a little bit here. We'll extend the leg straight up towards the ceiling, holding onto the back of the leg anywhere that feels appropriate for you here. Back of the thigh, back of the calf, just extending up through the right heel and dropping the thigh bone down into its socket, just rooting from that place in the body, in the hip. Take 3 more breaths here, inhaling. Exhale, let the low back broaden. you'll feel some sort of release. And last inhale here. This time releasing on your exhale, just letting go of the leg. Bring the foot back down and hug the left knee in. Just taking a few breaths here to squeeze the knee close. Extend your right leg. Maybe circle your ankle. Continue to breathe slowly. And just in your own time, you'll gently start to draw the knee wider. Hold on to the back of the knee. The edge of the foot just connecting with your hand at some location on the left leg or foot. Just drop into the hip here. Holding here for a few slow breaths. Just feeling into how this shape feels in your body. Gently extend the leg straight up towards the ceiling. Just holding onto the back of the leg anywhere. Letting the shoulders soften back towards the ground. You might imagine this gentle tugging down of the hands on the leg just to encourage that grounding of the thigh bone downward. That gentle extension up through the left heel. Exhale, release the foot and just extend both legs straight. Reach your arms up and overhead, interlacing the fingers. Flip the palms to face the wall that's back behind you. Extend through the palms, extend through the heels, and squeeze your legs together like you're in a standing mountain pose here, letting the shoulder blades soften down the back. That inner awareness here, that dropping into the sitting bones down towards the heels, little tilt of the pelvis. We just take one more big breath in here, and then exhale, just hug everything in towards the midline. Knees hug in towards your chest, arms wrap around the legs, just giving yourself a nice big squeeze here in the middle. You might feel the tailbone lift off of the ground, and maybe lift your head and upper back off of the ground even. Just kind of rounding in here. We take one more inhale. Exhale to slowly unravel. Just letting yourself open out really big here into a big star shape. Legs wide, arms wide. And then again, just squeezing into this nice tight little ball here. Arms wrap around the legs, forehead comes in, maybe the tailbone lifts. And just extend, just reaching all the way out. And this time we'll bring the soles of the feet onto the ground. Just roll onto your side. Use your hands to press yourself up into a tabletop position. This tabletop here, bringing your hands down onto the ground under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Let's get grounded through your palms, pointer fingers turning forward, and then drop your belly, look up and arch the back, cow pose. Exhale, rounding, just pressing into the earth as you pull the belly button in. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, arch the back. Exhale to round. 2 more rounds of this on your own breath, keeping the breath steady, long, and smooth. As you warm up the spine in this way, keep that grounded connection to the earth underneath you. Meeting back in a neutral tabletop. We'll just bring the knees wide. Settle back into your child's pose for a few big breaths. And if you'd like a little more shoulder opening, a little more opening through the arms, you might bend your elbows, inch the elbows a little farther forward. Bring the palms together and then drop the forehead down, drop the hands to the nape of the neck. Kind of letting that stretch in the arms just settle in here for the next couple breaths. The hips settle back towards the heels. Drop into this place in the body. The practice of yoga is essentially this practice of embodiment, of rooting, of reconnecting again and again. Slowly reach the arms forward again. Take a full breath in. Exhale out of your mouth. Shift forward all the way onto your belly. Slowly roll forward here, taking your time here to come down onto the belly. Hands slide under the shoulders and then press the tops of the feet down to slide the chest forward. Peel up into cobra pose. Broaden through the collarbones here. Squeeze the legs together. We'll hold for one more inhale. Exhale, come down onto your forehead and then just tuck the toes. Press back to your child's pose, letting the forehead touch the ground. Take a big breath in and then exhale to your downward facing dog. We'll just lift the hips high here. Take a couple breaths to warm into this shape. Straighten your arms to start, straighten your back. Pedal out your legs if you like. Reconnect to some kind of slow breathing here. We're in a little more difficult posture. Let the breath stay smooth. Let the chin drop towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, shift forward into plank pose. Plank pose, just pausing here. Feel free to drop the knees down onto the ground. Same thing, finding that connection to the core, whether the knees are down or not. We're just broadening that space between the shoulder blades, finding a reach of the calves up towards the ceiling. And just hold for one more inhale. Drop your knees if they're lifted. Exhale. And then lower to the belly. Release all the way down. We'll peel open into cobra here, just lifting, lengthening, opening through the front of the body. Strengthening the back. Exhale, come all the way down. Your inhale can bring you back to your child's pose. Toes tuck, forehead connects. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Again, just breathing here for a few moments. Down dog, if you want to take it down a little closer to the earth, feel free to drop your knees and just be in puppy pose here with the hands farther forward and the chest melting towards the ground. One more full breath in here. Full breath out. Same little flow here. Shift forward into plank pose. Building some heat here in the center of the body. Connecting here from the inside out. Lengthening. Chest forward. Tailbone back. Hold for one more inhale. Knees drop down. Exhale. Lower all the way to the belly. Release down slowly. And peel open. Cobra pose. Lengthen the chest forward. And exhale brings you down, just soften. Inhale back to your child's pose, toes tucked, forehead connects. And downward facing dog. pose or child's pose is a good place to be here. Strolling to the top of the mat, take your time to get there. Just a few steps walking forward, and right away just walk your feet wide and come into a malasana squat. So you can bring your forearms onto your thighs here, or you can sink down lower into the shape, dropping down into a deeper squat. This is all about opening the hips here. You can shift your hips side to side a little bit if you'd like. We'll be here for a few more breaths, so just starting to feel that sensation of the sitting bones dropping down, the chest lifting. Just feeling that connection down to the earth. This posture is known to be very rooting. We're letting the hips drop low, the hips open, breath is steady. Gently bring your hands down onto the ground and just lift your hips high as you walk your feet a little wider and turn the toes forward, wide fold. On your next inhale, just lift halfway to lengthen the spine out a little bit, and then drop back into the fold. Take a few big breaths here. You can grab opposite elbow and opposite hand and do a little sway side to side. Release the hands if you're holding onto your elbows. Bring the hands to your hips as you lift halfway. Take a little bend in your knees and rise all the way up. Just rise up to standing here. If you've turned to the side of your mat, you can step back to the top here. We'll just root the feet down. Sweep the arms up. Take a big breath in. Dive forward over your legs. Exhale. Just drop your head. Lift halfway here just to make some space from the chest away from the legs. Bend your knees enough to bring your hands down onto the ground. Step your left foot back. Come into a low lunge. Left knee drops. Walk your hands back to the top of your right thigh. I'll just lift up here for a couple of big breaths, finding some space of the chest, from the chest away from the thigh. Maybe even pressing down in your hands to kind of lift up. Squeeze the legs together here just to feel that connection, that containment of the pelvis in alignment here as you lengthen up through the armpits. Maybe stretch the arms all the way up. If you're in that lifted arm up variation, you might even lean back a little bit, just finding a little back bend, a little space through the left side body. Bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot and just start to inch your right foot forward a little bit here and straighten the right leg as you draw the hips back. It's coming into that half split shape just with the hands on the inside, just to kind of give yourself a little more space. Again, lifting halfway, find length in the spine. Press your right heel down into the ground. And exhale, release back down into the shape for a couple more breaths. Following your next inhale, come back into your lunge. The right knee bends. Keep the hands where they are as you inch your right foot a little wider towards the outer edge of your mat. And then scoot your left knee back a little bit just to give your leg a little more space, your hips some more space. And then just sink into this shape for a few moments here. Lizard pose. You can bend your elbows to come a little deeper into the pose, or maybe come down onto your forearms. been in a similar shape to this already and practiced that pose on the back with the knee wide, you can imagine that same sensation happening here, the knee gently drawing out and away from your body, maybe even rolling onto the outer edge of your right foot. Big breath in here. Full exhale, empty the lungs. Turn your right toes out towards the right long edge of your mat. And we'll slowly just start to send your hips back enough so you can tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. So this is a little funky transition. Feel free to look up here if you need to. And feel free to adjust. You can heel toe your right foot as far back towards the back of the mat as you need to. Right hand can come onto your hip. And then lift the left hip away from the ground. Just get connected here to the side body. Nice and slow. We'll lower the left hip down onto the ground and adjust your legs as you do that. So you can come down onto your left forearm here and then walk your right foot even farther back towards the back of the mat. So we're just on the side here, reclined on the side. And I'm gonna actually switch around so you can see me. Left leg is extended straight, reaching through the left heel. Right foot is just out in front. From here, you'll slide down a little bit further onto your left side so you can prop your head up with your left hand. So we're even more relaxed, just lounging on the side of the body. From here, you can take your right peace sign fingers, bring them to your right big toe. So kind of clasping onto your right big toe with your thumb, your peace sign fingers, and notice your balance here. Where balance plays into the equation. You might start to lean forward or backwards. And then if you'd like, you can start to extend the right heel up towards the ceiling and straighten your leg a little bit or a lot. You might keep a bend. You might wobble. That's totally fine. Just notice, breathe, see how relaxed you can make this shape. Just kind of dropping into the thigh bone of the right leg. See if you can make this a little more spacious. Just holding for one more big breath in. We'll slowly bring the right foot back down onto the ground. And then press yourself back up with your hands and come up into a seated position. So the right knee will stay right where it is. Your left heel will just draw in towards your right hip. And we're coming into this seated twist position. So just take your time here to sit upright. So both sitting bones are down on the ground. And reach up through your left hand. Just lengthen through the left side body. And twist over your right shoulder, just hugging the knee in towards the chest. Gentle gaze back behind you. Just one more big inhale here. Release through the center, exhale. Come into Gomukhasana here or fire log pose. So Gomukhasana, we cross the right leg even farther on top of the left. Bring the feet wide to the outside of the hips. If this is where you'd like to be, you can just set up here, bring your hands to your sides, let the hips drop down, and breathe. If you want to move into fire log pose instead, it's just a little more spacious shape with the legs farther away from the body. The legs stack like fire logs. Right ankle over the left knee, right knee over the left ankle. That's a nice place to be too. Just getting that deep hip stretch here wherever you are. You can stay upright, or you might choose to start to fold forward a little bit. Crawling the hands forward, hinging forward, noticing how that changes the shape for you. Dropping in here for a few more breaths. If at all possible, bring some kind of softness to this shape. It might just be releasing your jawline. Gently crawl the hands back, come up and out of the pose, and just start to unravel your legs. You can bring the feet wide, bring the hands back behind you, do a little seated windshield wiper, just freeing up the hips a little bit. And then eventually you can just bring your hands down onto the ground towards the front of your mat. Step back to your downward facing dog. This is just for a transition here. We'll just step forward slowly to the top of the mat. Lift halfway to make some space. Fingertips come down, knees bend, right foot steps back. Come into your low lunge. Drop the right knee down, walk the hands to the top of the left thigh. Start to lift the chest. So we're just breathing here in our low lunge for a few moments. Squeezing the legs together. Maybe the arms sweep up. And maybe you lean back. Left heel is rooted. Slowly bring the hands down to the inside of the heel. And then inch your left foot forward, straightening your left leg, drawing the hip creases back, the chest forward. Make some more space from the belly away from the top of the thigh. And then fall forward, just releasing into the shape here for a few slow breaths. You can keep a little bend in your left knee here if you'd like to just keep some kind of awareness in that joint. The left thigh bone draws back towards its socket. Bring you back into your lunge, moving into lizard pose here. We walk the left foot a little bit wider. You can inch your right knee back and then just settle in, dropping down into this shape here for a little bit of time. Move into the hips in this deep way. It's a really nice way of connecting to the earth, this rooting sensation of or having roots is the Latin meaning for the word radical. I've been thinking a lot about this idea of embodiment as a radical act, this practice of yoga as a radical rooted thing that we can do to slowly start to come back up onto your hands if you've lowered. Turn your left toes out to the side, and this is where that kind of funky transition starts to happen. So left toes turn out. Right hand is rooted near the top of your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. And that might take a little adjusting, that's fine. Left hand onto your hip. Just starting to ground down through the left foot. Lift your right hip a little farther away from the ground and breathe. Continue to extend through your right heel here. And then gently just start to lower down. Just a real slow release down onto the right forearm, onto your right hip. Adjust your left foot. Sliding a little bit closer to the earth even. Right hand slides out. Prop your head up with your right hand. Elbow is propped up on the ground. And just adjust your legs here so you can just lie here in a relaxed way. And then eventually you can bend your left knee a little closer towards your chest. Grab onto your big toe with your peace sign fingers, your thumb. Find your balance and extend any amount. The leg does not have to extend all the way. Just checking in with your breath here. For the last few moments here, seeing how connected you are to the ground here, the whole right side of the body rooted. Gently start to come out of the pose. Left foot comes back where you picked it up from. And just slowly press yourself up with the left hand. The right hand comes down and sit up as you bring your right heel in towards your left hip. Seated twist. The left knee is pointed up towards the ceiling. The right arm sweeps up this time. And just twist to the left. Look back behind you. Stay light in the left fingertips behind you. We will hold for one more inhale. Exhale brings you back around to the front, moving into Gomukhasana legs or fire log pose. Your choice, just settling into one of those variations, that deep hip opener. You can start with the hands just at your sides, fingertips on the ground is fine. Just kind of letting the hips get a little heavier. The chest is lifted. The breath slows down. And whenever you'd like, you can make that fold forward. Couple breaths out of the mouth here, letting go of any expectation about when we'll move on to what's next. Just letting yourself be here for these last few breaths. Softening. Time, gently come up and out of the pose. Bring your hands back behind you. Unravel your legs. Bring the soles of the feet wide. Little windshield wiper up the knees. And we'll meet lying on the belly. So when you're ready, you can just roll forward. Bring your hands stacked under your forehead. Bring your feet wide. Just take a couple slow breaths here. Walk your left arm out towards the left side of the room that you're in, palm face down, making a 90-degree angle with your body. Use your right hand to slowly roll the body up and over the left shoulder so the ear can come down onto the ground. Your right knee can bend back behind you as you bring the foot onto the ground, or you can just keep your legs stacked. Full breath in up into the rib cage here. Release back onto the belly and move to the other side. Right arm reaches out. Press yourself up and over when you're ready. And settle in. Release back onto the belly. Bring your hands under your shoulders and just press back to your closed knee, child's pose. Forehead connects to the ground. And then continue walking the hands back until you come up into a kneeling position. You can just set your hips back over your heels. Hands can just rest on your thighs. Just let your breath kind of slow down here. Maybe let a big breath out of your mouth. We'll do a little pranayama practice here, alternate nostril breathing, which is exactly as it sounds, this breathing alternating between your nostrils. So we'll start by closing off the right side with the thumb, and then the left side with the left pointer finger. So right side closes off with the thumb. We take a big breath in through the left side. Seal off the left, exhale through the right. Inhale right. Sealing off, exhale left. Left, closing off, exhale right, inhale right, closing off, exhale left, continuing on your own here. Next time you exhale out the right side, you can release your hands. Just let your breath return to a more natural state. straight in and out of the nose. And gently release the legs from underneath you, swing them out. And just roll onto your back. Just rolling onto your back here slowly. Bring the knees in for a moment. The soles of the feet come down onto the ground. Just pausing here for a couple big breaths. Hands can rest on the hips or belly. Just open your arms wide into a T. Knees fall over to the right. Feel free to bring them a little closer towards your chest. Spinal twist, this deep twist, releasing, softening into the shape that your body is resting in here. Just let gravity do the work. Back through the center and just move to the other side. Back through the center. Just come into a happy baby pose for these last few moments here. Just holding onto the backs of the knees or the edges of the feet. See if you can broaden the sacrum onto the earth, the back of your pelvis kind of broadening and softening down, even if that means releasing your feet a little from your grip. Slowly release your feet, extend your legs down towards the bottom of the mat. Or you can keep the soles of the feet flat like we started in. Let one hand slide over the heart, another hand over your belly. Just dropping into Shavasana, this place of rest, of ease. I'll ease you into Shavasana here with a body scan meditation. It's letting your awareness move through your body. Start the space between eyebrows. Just letting your awareness move to that space in your body. Softening between the eyebrows. And then sensing the space from that spot and the spot at the back of your head. That space in the middle of your head here, just softening. Jawline release. Let your awareness move to the space inside of your mouth. Let your tongue drop from the roof of the mouth. Let it fill the lower palate. Of teeth separate. Bring your awareness to the space between your ears and your shoulder, the top of the shoulder. Letting that space soften on both sides of your body. Let your awareness move into the chest. Softening there at the chest, the shoulders, the tops of the arms. Allow your awareness to move down the arms and into your hands. Resting on your body or wherever they are, just softening at the hands a little bit more. Noticing any sensations in the hands, a little bit of tingling or vibrations there. Soft with your breath. Let your awareness move into your pelvis, softening at the pelvis. Sensing that space between your hip points. Sensing the space between the pubic bone and the tailbone. All the space between. calves soften, the ankles soften. Let your awareness move into your feet. Noticing any tingling sensation in the feet. Broadening your awareness to your whole body. Just following that changing flow of sensation. Just noticing those little moments that pop up in your body, that aliveness moving through you. A radical field of energy. Press yourself up into a seated position. There's no rush, just take your time to get there. Just letting the palms come together at your heart center. Just finding that gentle lift of the chest towards your thumbs. Closing with a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Namaste, and thank you so much for sharing in practice this evening. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you.
Thanks, Erin.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you. That was great.
Thanks, Kate. Hope you have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, Dan. Thank you.
Probably see you on Friday.
Okay, cool.
See you then. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.